This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Just reading about some researchers from New Mexico.
I love some of the studies that come out. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just like, are these people getting paid to do this kind of research?
I don't know if they are.
How do they actually do it?
So this one that was tweeted out by Daily Mail Online, a verified account, says, men with big penises are seen as more extroverted.
You can say that again. Can't wait to tell everybody at work.
If it's bigger, they're more attractive, more sexually active, more extroverted.
No, this took a turn.
Wait a minute. This study seems like a lie. And then it says the smaller it is, the worse you are in bed, the less open you are to new experiences, and the more neurotic you are. This is rude. This is a very rude study.
You know what this feels like? An angry ex-girlfriend decided to do a study about her.
And posted it on her LinkedIn knowing that her ex will see it.
Posted it on her Facebook. Hey, guys, been doing some research lately. We need to talk about a new food trend. It's not the chicken and NyQuil. It's just as dumb, in my opinion, though. The butter board. Mm-hmm. Why are we putting everything on boards?
Okay, I kind of like the board phase that people are going through because that's
what a table's for.
Pancake board one is fun.
You don't have plates?
So it's a take on charcuterie,
right?
But you're doing different types of things on your wooden boards. Which, have you ever seen the price of a wooden board? People are like, yeah, I make them in my garage. Support local. And I'm like, why is it $200? I'll just go in the backyard and pull off a branch.
Well, and there's companies that do proper charcuterie boards that charge like in the hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Don't get me wrong. They are gorgeous.
And there's a lot of food packed in there. I bought like 5 slices of turkey at the grocery store the other day. It was $7.
Ooh.
So like, I get that they have to charge a lot for them. I'm not saying they charge too much, but yeah, this is a popular thing. And now people have branched out to, like you said, pancake boards.
Yeah, which is fun. I mean, lay that out for the kids in the morning.
It's a lot of work.
It's stimulating for them. They can choose what they want to put on their plate. It's fun.
They all choose the same thing every time.
Just Nutella.
Well, or just butter and syrup, please. No, I don't like bacon.
This one has too many chocolate chips.
Ooh, where's your tomatoes?
Okay, why would there be tomatoes?
I don't know.
What?
Just
gross. Anyway, the latest one is a butter board. And if you watch the videos of people creating them, you'll gag the entire time. It's just somebody opening up a container of margarine and like smearing it all over a board.
Or cutting off a couple decent blocks of butter and then, just smearing it everywhere and then putting stuff on it.
Yeah, which is like kind of cool in a sense because different flavored areas of the board, like one's like one corner's like garlic, another one has rosemary, another one has honey drizzle. Okay, but the actual visual at the end of the video when the woman's cutting her bread and then scooping up bread. I mean, scooping up butter is sickening.
Yeah, and it just looks so hard to clean after. That's what, like, all of the things that I would be thinking. If somebody served that at a party, I would just sit there and judge the idea for 10 minutes.
That's funny you say that because when we attempted the pancake charcuterie board once, I was like, I guess I got to make it pretty. So I got to take the Nutella out of the Nutella jar, put it in a cute little bowl, and then cleaning it was my personal hell.
And let's be honest, you're not using, like, what are those things called? Clippers?
Tongs.
You're not using tongs to move those pancakes around, so you've handled to make it look pretty everything on that plate.
Can we all start calling tongs clippers? That was so cute. Clippers. Anyway, yeah, so that's the latest thing you might see at your next brunch gathering. And if you see it, I want you to pick up that $200 piece of wood and throw it in the trash in front of the friend that brought it.
Yeah, just make sure you hit the trash because cleanup would be a real bitch.
Yeah, cleaning it's impossible. So you might as well just throw it out after you use it once.
It looks like you weren't alone with your heightened sense of fear.
Yeah. So the Jeffrey Dahmer show is officially out on Netflix. It was just released yesterday. And this series follows the murders of infamous serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. And he's portrayed by Evan Peters. And wow, what a cast. Just amazing job by the people that casted everyone. in the show.
Well, it's crazy with some of these true crime stories that, like, you can't even write a story that's as scary as what actually shook down. Mm-hmm. Like, this guy was terrifying.
Yeah, and I saw a really important thread on Twitter because obviously Jeffrey Dahmer was trending yesterday, and it was someone saying, you're going to see a lot of people talking about this show, but let's highlight the victims and who they were and what they represented and how amazing they were. And I just thought that was interesting. And I read through the entire thread of all of the victims, and I do think that is important to remember.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting addiction that we have with these stories because you're kind of making the killer more famous.
Yeah, you don't want to glorify it, but I do think a lot of people are invested more so they can protect themselves and know the signs of someone that could potentially be dangerous. Because
I've heard that point be made before, and that makes a lot of sense.
I think what's infuriating about this show, what I'm getting from people that have already crushed it, like sat down yesterday and watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with the case, it's really frustrating to know how close he was to getting caught so many times. And then more people were losing their lives because he was still on the streets.
And the cops just messed it up numerous times.
Yes. So I attempted to watch this last night. I made it to 48 seconds before I had to turn it off. And then I couldn't sleep all night.
Really?
I was absolutely terrified this morning getting into my vehicle on the way to work. I locked my car immediately as I got into it. Last night, I locked all the doors in the house. I had 2 dogs in the room with me, and they're big hounds.
Right.
And I still was like, I don't feel safe. I went and got my couch knife. That still didn't feel like it was protecting me in that moment. Yeah,
that's probably more dangerous than any of the other parts of this story. Like, what if you fell asleep with a couch knife? That sounds like a terrible idea.
I feel like a lot of people have a couch knife.
A couch knife?
Yeah, you have a car knife, a couch knife, a mattress knife.
But a car knife, there's plenty safe spots you can put it in your car.
Yeah, right now I actually don't have my car knife. I'm using scissors at the moment.
Okay.
That's a good reminder. I got to put that on my to-do list to put my knife back in my car.
The couch knife... Sorry, I got to dissect this a little bit more. Where do you keep it? Like in the couch? Do you put it between the cracks? Do you just have it on top of the couch? Do you put it just on a table by the
table right beside the popcorn.
Well, then it's fine.
Yeah, so I made it to 48 seconds. I don't know about the rest of you that attempted to watch it last night. It gets scary immediately.
They hooked you.
And it did get me thinking, like, was there another movie or show out there that freaked you out so much that it like ruined the next couple weeks for you or months? Like, because I remember watching The Fourth Kind, which is about alien abduction, and there's a lot of creepy scenes with owls, and I was so scared.
Yeah.
All the time for like months afterward.
People are great at making scary movies and scary series. But yeah, like I said, it's sometimes the true ones that are the scariest.
And I can listen to a podcast about Jeffrey Dahmer all day, but when there's a visual in front of me, like, I'm not joking. People on the text line right now are like, what do you mean 48 seconds? The first scene is someone watching TV with their headphones on, and I just know someone's in her apartment. And I'm like, nope.
That's it for me.
I got to watch this at noon tomorrow when the sun is high.
The one that like scared me or shook me up, you'll remember the name of it, was that abduction where the guy had the woman and her kid locked in his back.
It's called Room.
Like, that to me was just, I felt sick to my stomach.
And that's a true story.
Yeah, and I just picturing my kid in that situation, or, you know, I just felt like physically ill from that somebody could do that to somebody else.
We got a text. My brother, when we were little, whenever we'd watch a scary movie in the basement, he would bring a knife downstairs and keep it near the couch. I feel like it's a known thing.
A lot more people have been hurt from all these knives around than they have from
like
these
someone
criminals
coming into their house.
Yeah.
Joel wrote in saying, I wanted to be a pilot as a kid, but then I saw the movie Alive. The actors eating each other to stay alive shook me to my core. Yeah.
My brother claimed he was on a flight once and they showed the movie Alive.
Why would you do that to people?
Yeah, and it had like a plane accident. I'm like, no, what?
That's like playing Final Destination on a flight. You just don't do it. You don't do it.
Austin says Exorcism of Emily Rose was the one that shook me up.
Okay, that movie I had to try and laugh instead of cry in the theater with my girlfriends. And it was more so just the way that Emily Rose is like contorting her body in the barn in that one scene.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, I have to visualize this as like, these are actors. They're on a set right now. There's a full cast and crew behind the camera.
Right. Talk yourself down.
Talk yourself out of it. This is not real.
Liz says Unsolved Mysteries. It's the music in that show did it for me.
And why is it always on when you're staying in a hotel? And that's the only channel they have, and you're alone.
And the story's about a hotel.
Jasmine is pretty relatable. If you grew up in the 90s, you knew about the Blair Witch Project, and it's all everybody talked about because for so long we thought it was real.
Yeah.
And
that was the best marketing
it was so well done.
ploy ever. What do you got for us?
When I was a kid, I was just absolutely obsessed with anything vampires. I always wanted to be a vampire for Halloween. Anytime we would go to rent movies, I'd always go to the horror section, look for vampire movies. My mom was like, "Are you sure? You're really young. I think you might get scared." And I was like, no, I'll be fine. We'd watch the movie, and then I would proceed when I would go to sleep, cover my neck with my blanket because I was afraid the vampires were going to bite me.
That is awesome. So were you a big Buffy fan?
Yes, love Buffy.
I just read an interview with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she's talking about how she's making a comeback in the acting world, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, she was in a new movie I watched on Netflix.
Yeah, I just watched it too. It was so good.
Was your favorite cereal growing up Count Chocula?
Oh, Ryder, yeah.
It was.
Okay, but also, how good was True Blood?
Oh, so good.
So good. Okay, respect. Thank you for the call, Lindsay. We appreciate
Yeah,
you.
no problem. Have a good day.
We were talking about scary movies or shows, something that shook you up when you watched it.
This after the Jeffrey Dahmer show is officially out now on Netflix, where Evan Peters is portraying him. Apparently, it's like award-winning performance.
You watched it last night.
I wouldn't know because I only made it into 48 seconds into the show before I got too scared and turned it off.
Do you think if I would have been around, you would have been able to watch more?
Oh, yeah. You would be so amazing to have in the room with you snoring in the corner 30 seconds in. This guy is impossible to watch anything with. Or you'd be opening up TikTok and I'd be like, can you turn your phone down over there? So we're asking you, like Ryder said, what is that show, that movie that just messed with you as a kid? I laughed so hard at this text that says, Ryder and Lisa, Marlena possessed the first time on Days of Our Lives. I was in junior high. It scared the crap out of me. I had to sleep in my sister's bedroom on the floor for a week. That's when you know it was scary.
Yeah.
When you had to sleep in your parents' room for a while.
Sure.
Or with the light on in the hallway.
When you changed your sleeping patterns because of a show, it was scary. Corey says, for me, it was an episode of X-Files where there was some weird monster thing in the sewer system. Check the toilet before sitting down for a long while.
Yeah. When you change your routine, like this morning, like I said, I only got into 48 seconds into the show and I locked my doors as soon as I got in my vehicle. We got a couple texts from some women this morning saying, Lisa, you should be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Legit.
You're right. Do you remember for a while there, it was more so a thing in the 90s where most scary stories were about someone being in the backseat of a car?
Yeah.
Did nobody lock their vehicle?
I guess not.
Because I don't know if that would happen
well,
anymore.
coat hangers would open vehicles a lot easier back then, too.
That's true. Scary movie is the topic, right? Edward Scissorhands for me. Look, I get it. He was misunderstood and sad and very sweet. But have you looked at him? He has scissors for hands. Absolutely will not watch. Thank you for the text.
When I was about 12 years old, I watched Psycho, and that movie has traumatized me. I'm 49 years old, and I cannot have the shower curtain closed. That thing is open 23 hours a day. I will never understand people can have that closed. The Psycho could be on the other side of it at any time.
I actually can't even close my eyes in the shower. Like if there's shampoo in my eyes, I just let it burn. I keep my eyes open the whole time.
That's why Lisa uses baby shampoo
That's
now.
why I have red eyes 24/7.
No tears.
That's awesome.
5 simple words, $1,000. It's Ryder and Lisa's 1K wordplay.
We are joined by Ashley. Thank you for checking out the show and congrats on getting through. You have an apology to make to a drive-through employee?
I do. I ghosted her because I was about to order my coffee when I got through.
Okay,
you're
so
like,
you
sorry.
just blasted through that drive-through. She was very confused, I'm sure.
This is a priority, though.
So $1,000 up for grabs. Here's how it works. You're going to pick a teammate. We'll send them out of the room. Then we'll give you 5 words. You tell us the first word that comes to mind for each. We'll invite your teammate, either Lisa or myself, back in. Same 5 words. For every one that they match with you, it's $25. And if we get all 5 matching, it's $1,000. Who would you like to take as a teammate today?
I'm going to choose you, Ryder.
Yes. Get out of here.
Everybody chooses
I'm never.
I'm so good.
You are good, but I'm never offended by this because I feel like I choose good words, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I want to talk to you more. That's why.
Oh, you're so sweet. Even before your coffee. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Ashley, what's the first word that comes to your mind when I say clock?
Clock?
Yeah.
Time.
Snap.
Fingers.
Sticky.
Note.
Joke.
Laugh.
And the last word, Ashley, what's the first word that comes to your mind when I say gym? J-Y-M. I mean Jeep. G-Y-M. I need a coffee.
I'm going to just say workout.
Okay. All right, Ryder, come back in. He's in the hallway. She did good. I'm excited for this.
I'm nervous.
You don't have to be nervous.
Every time I walk back in the room for this game,
Yeah.
I like kind of pretend like I'm a professional wrestler
Oh, nice.
or like
We
an
should get-
athlete walking out a fighter.
We need a song, maybe, an entrance song for you.
Na-na-na-na-na.
You could slam 2 beers. All right. Ryder, what is the first word that comes to your mind when I say clock?
Time?
That's correct.
Yes. That was tough.
Why was that tough to you?
Well,
What else would you say?
hands.
Okay. No, time is the right answer. Snap.
I've got 2 answers. Ashley, if you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm 35.
I'm going to go with fingers.
That's correct.
Yes.
Why does age play a part? Oh, you were thinking about Snapchat.
If she would have been 25, I would have said Snapchat. Yeah.
Hey, Ashley,
Oh.
you've got $50 so far. Let's make it 75. Ryder, what's the first word that comes to mind when I say joke?
Funny?
Laugh.
Another one. Yeah, I was going to say that one.
Dang, that was close,
Let's
too.
keep it going, though. Sticky.
Glue?
Note. Both good answers. Okay, so Ashley has $50. Can we at least send her on her way to work with 75?
Yes.
Gym.
Class.
Oh.
She said workout, which I feel like could be. That's one word, right?
Yeah.
Say workout's one word.
Yeah, but
You know what, Ashley? I feel like you still did good. $50 in your pocket. Thank you so much for playing.
Thanks, you guys. This was awesome.
And now get back in that line that's probably really long at the coffee shop.
yeah, gonna be late for work for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You
Ash.
too.
Next chance to play, and your last chance this week comes tomorrow at 7:50. The trailer has dropped for the new Little Mermaid live-action remake.
And all of us who grew up in the 90s were like, what do you mean Halle Berry is going to be Ariel? And then we were like, oh, Halle Bailey.
Different
That's
person.
a different person. I think she's going to be amazing. I watched the trailer and I got goosebumps, so I'm super excited. May 2023 is when it'll be out.
So I decided to celebrate. A lot of people are talking about it and learn a new song on my recorder. I've been seeing some memes surfacing, like with pictures of recorders online saying, how did this help my education? How will this ever help my future career? Well, I'm here to prove all of those memes wrong.
Ryder gets paid to play the recorder.
Yep.
That could be you one day.
Let's do this.
Ryder's recorder. Ryder has no actual skills.
actually really good.
Thank you.
And TU on the text line says, I think he's improving. R says, damn, Ryder, yes. Blackson said, that actually fired me up. Purple Pants Kyle says, best one yet. Anna says, okay, but why was that seriously incredible?
Thank you, everybody.
Carmen says, I'm dying at the recorder. Love this bit, says Will. Why are you so cool?
Super popular. I'd like to apologize for the background musician, Lisa, typing too loudly through the majority of that.
It's my job.
You almost threw me off. Almost, but I'm too good at this.
It's your job to play the recorder and rehearse in the corner. And it's my job to make sure everybody gets a text back from us.
Well, if I may critique, if you could type a little quieter when the performance is happening. Sorry, I just get really passionate about this
honestly,
instrument.
I don't like this inflated ego you have just because you got a bunch of people praising your recorder performance. Be nicer.
You tried to watch the Jeffrey Dahmer series and you lasted 48 seconds.
Yeah, and then I couldn't sleep last night. I had a knife beside me.
Just the worst,
Yeah,
eh?
I was like scared walking into work this morning.
So
It's so dark out.
We're asking you what show or movie shook you up for a while.
Carmen wrote in saying, yo, there was this one episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark that stuck with me and scared the crap out of me as a kid. It was this bloody skeleton guy that went through the vents at a swimming pool. I had to sleep in my mom's room for like a month and I had to cover all of our vents. I hope it wasn't winter. Your house is just freezing because none of the vents are working. But it's funny that you say that because shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps, they were for kids, but they were scary. And I don't think parents realized how scary they were because we were watching them without parental supervision.
Yeah, they just throw them on and then parents would go and do whatever they were doing.
Yep. So I remember one specific episode of Goosebumps and it was Stay Out of the Basement. And it was the episode where the dad turned out to be like an evil plant.
Oh.
And I didn't trust my dad for months after that.
Or plants.
Yeah. Like I would look at my dad. I'd be like side-eyeing my dad at the dinner table and he'd be like, what's your problem? And I'd be like, show me what color your blood is. Is it green or is it red? Sabrina wrote in saying, The Sixth Sense scared the crap out of me. I had to shut it off and then rewatch it again in the middle of the day when it was light outside. Yeah.
I want to tell you a secret now. I see dead people.
How about the fact that Misha Barton was the ghost in that? You don't realize it, but then as you get older, you watch the OC and then you look back and you're like, hey, I know her. She was so little then.
What do you got for us?
The Fourth Kind. That movie was the most terrifying movie I've ever seen, and I've been watching scary movies since I was 5. Every little creak or like squeaky door in the middle of the night when all the lights were off, I was like, oh my God, they're coming for me. And I'm not even going to remember because they're going to brainwash me and erase my memory, and the only way I'm going to be able to remember is if I'm hypnotized. I seriously will not even go to Alaska. That is like an absolute hard no. Like, because
Really?
And you hate owls, right?
yes, I hate owls because it's like, and then I told my mom, I was like, I knew there was a reason I hated owls, Mom. This is why. They're aliens. And then she...
Oh, you are so funny. What's your name?
Brianda.
All right, what do you got for us?
It was Jaws. As a parent, I would not recommend taking a 6-year-old to a drive-in movie.
So you were 6 when you saw it?
Sadly, yes.
Wow, that must have made like swimming a lot less fun after.
It did. According to my dad, when I went to my swimming lessons, I would turn myself right into this big rock and sink to the bottom of the pool because I was so scared of the water.
You know what happened here, I think? Your babysitter bailed and your parents are like, well, what are we going to do? I guess we got to take him.
Just bring him to the movie.
Damn right. And then also, when I would visit my grandparents, they're like, come on, Corey, it's time for a bath. I'm like, no, Grandma, not going in. I am not going in.
No, just sponge me.
You were the stinkiest kid, but it's your parents' fault.
Totally.
Pretty heavy interview today on Good Morning America. They released the preview for it yesterday. That's all I've seen, but I'm definitely interested to watch this.
Who is it?
He always grabs your attention, whether it's good or bad. Kanye West is going to open up about his divorce, social media,
Well, and those Good Morning America interviews can get pretty heavy and very personal.
Well, and yeah, if he's open to have the conversation, I mean, I'm going to be all ears. Here's a little sneak preview of him apologizing to Kim.
This is the mother of my children, and I apologize for any stress that I have caused.
So that's a good place to start. We'll see what he says but after that.
Except...
Got a message the other day from a listener. I was kind of waiting for the right time to bring this up, but it said, just wondering if you or your listeners have some insight about talking to your kids about divorce. I'm super stressed about it, is what the message said. And I get that. It was probably the most anxious I've ever been leading up to that chat. My daughter would have been, I think she had just turned 4, and I was just rattled. I mean, you think that you're collapsing their world, you know? Mm-hmm. It depends on how old the kid is, because that is the case in a lot of these situations. If you're dealing with a 7 or 8 year old, I was talking to my therapist about it, and she pointed out that that's like the trickiest time because kids will blame themselves.
Oh, that's horrible.
Even if none of it has to do with the kids, which usually it doesn't.
So maybe there's a way to speak if the kids are that age. There's a way to go about bringing it up. And a therapist can help you navigate that.
That's maybe my suggestion is, go and talk to a therapist before the chat. Know that you might be making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. When I did talk to my daughter about it after losing sleep for weeks, and her mom and I finally sat her down and told her what was going on, she was pretty jacked up that she got 2 houses. That's what she took away from the conversation.
Wow.
So the therapist also told me 3 and 4 is the best time to have that chat, and the kids will take it the easiest at that age.
Interesting.
So I think it's go and talk to a therapist is my best advice. If anybody else has any, 780-784-7107.
Yeah, we can shoot anything that you write in or call in with. We can send it to this listener that wrote in anonymously about it.
Yeah, and just know that if they're little, that you don't need to make more out of it than it is, right? Try to just be understanding, to be open to all of their questions and whatnot, but don't paint a picture of how devastating it's going to be for them if they're too little to comprehend what's going on.
Well, and Ryder, you've always been such an open book and so great for as a resource for our listeners as well. So if you ever have any questions, I think Ryder would be a great person to reach out to. On social media, you're pretty good at getting back to people. So at Ryder FM, if you want to give them a follow.
Mornings with Ryder and Lisa.
Hottest hashtags.
Okay, maybe you're sick of hearing about Adam Levine, but I am still living for these hilarious takes on Twitter like this one. What do you think the other Maroon 4 are saying?
They're mad.
What's that group chat looking like?
They are mad right now.
I'm also loving that people are just taking the screen grab of one of Adam Levine's DMs to a woman that says, "It is truly unreal how hot you are. Like, it blows my mind." And then they're posting that with other situations, like this one. Goldilocks trying the first bowl of porridge. Or there was someone that was like, my MacBook after I'm playing Sims on it for 2 hours. It is truly unreal how hot you are. It blows my mind.
Edmontonians, when they walk outside today and it's going to be 23 degrees.
Yeah, and you're wearing a sweater and a toque because we live in Alberta and it was cold this morning. That's so true.
Other hot hashtags, Fiona, obviously because of the hurricane. It could hit the east coast of Canada, Nova Scotia, expecting the worst of it. Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic have been hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it's scary.
I hate when they use beautiful sounding names for hurricanes.
Oh, I instantly think of Shrek, and I hate myself for it.
Well, Fiona was one of my top choices for if I ever had another daughter. Now,
no, you can't go with Fiona.
Can't go after a hurricane.
No.
And hashtag first day of fall is trending as well. From what I've seen, people are taking it pretty well. Very excited about things like orange leaves, scarves, pumpkin spice, everything, sweaters, and toques. That seems to be the vibe of why that's trending.
Yeah.
Those are today's hottest hashtags.
You really struggle with that. I feel like we need to change the names to just hot hashtags. It's so much easier to say.
Yeah.
Hottest hashtags.
Yeah, it's just everybody try it in the car right now.
Just say it out loud.
Hottest hashtags. Nailed it that time.
That was really good.
The Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Play 107.